Hi, I'm Charles Ancona, and I'm here at WEF, the Winter Equestrian Festival, with Todd Minikis. We have a location here right in the center of things. We have two booths. We specialize in getting the fitting of the jackets, to perfection. That's really what we look for. We're doing the whole U.S. team. There's a lot of things and a lot of details that a lot of companies won't deal with because they make them in a different fashion. So we're all about custom details and getting the preferences of the rider into the fit. So here's a jacket we're going to start with. Let's try this, Todd. I do a quick estimation of the size. Usually I like to start bigger and work downward. That way no one likes it the other way around. Todd's a pretty easy fit. So what I see here right off, because I've been doing a lot, this forever, is that there's going to be preferences involved here. So it's not just that where I can dictate, say, we should do this and this. I can say that, but I also want to lean to that rider to make sure we get their look, depending how they ride, how they want their leg, different things. First thing we look for is the shoulder. Our jackets are known to have this classic shoulder. It's not like some of the other brands, especially the Europeans, where they look almost slouchy and there's no shoulder pad in there. I don't know how they really can get that look, accomplish what we want. Look at how that looks. That looks very good. It's right out to the edge, nice and square. Our jackets tend to have a taper to them, so it looks good through the waist, makes everybody look a little trimmer, and I think it looks great there, ready to go. The thing I'm seeing here is a little bit of length that I'm concerned with, and that's going to be a little bit for Todd to figure out. Now we have this a little longer here. Reach like you're grabbing the reins in front. So as you see that there, some riders don't want it down in here, it bothers them. They want to stay more up to where the wrist bends. We've been doing them a little longer because it looks a little more custom. Now you see it pulled back, but now, he probably wants it a little bit shorter than that.
Right about there seems good to me.
Yeah, I think so too. So the one thing about that is once we do it, we can always lean back. I always tell the rider, take the jacket, ride. I can go back in and remanipulate that. Some things we can't, but this we can. So I'm willing to take that gamble with them there, which to me, it's about 1 inch off on that. I have my tape measure, but I think I can eyeball that one and see that we're going to go 1 inch off, about the hemline off, and that'll put it in a nice spot. If you notice, we have the white cuff built in. That started back in the beginning when I was doing, and men's is a small market compared to the rest of my kids and women in this sport. But I think when you have a white shirt and he's about to ride, would you be wearing a tie?
Yes.
Yeah. So the white tie, white shirt, just when men are dressed, I think to have a missing cuff doesn't complete the look. So with a black glove and he rides out, you're going to see a perfect line right there, like he's just dressed to the nines, and that's what we want, is for him to look really clean and sharp. So that's what we'll do there. I'm liking everything here. Question now is length. We have a slightly longer cut. It's kind of our brand. Our type of rider comes out of classic lines. They from the McLeans, the Brians, and Margie Engels, and Laura's, and Todd. A lot of them came through those equitation ranks. So they're all about that. Some of them won't just wear navy blue, and that's it. So we got to respect that. So do you want, but normally the European jumpers come in with them up to here. I don't like that look. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good to walk around the show with a jacket that short as well. So Todd's on the borderline. And that's, maybe we'll use a saddle. For years I fit everybody on length with just this. We stood there and we looked, and I said, geez, why don't we sit down, look at the saddle. And when you sit down, everything looks a lot longer. I notice a lot of companies are 4 buttons or 3 buttons. You see different brands. Okay, be careful. Okay, there we go. So now, from the front here, and he can see himself in the mirror, I like the 3-button look, because we want a short torso and a long leg. So I don't like to elongate it with the 4th button. If I do want the 4th button, or if he wants it for a Euro look, and I think we're going to stay with 3 here, I would reposition these. So when I see a company, I won't name the names, but they're all out there, mostly the Europeans, 4 buttons all over the place. Hunters, we definitely stay to 3. I can do it, because if we put silver buttons on here and he wants that 4-button kind of pronounced look, I can do that. What are your thoughts on that, Todd?
I like the 3-button myself personally. It's just traditional, I think.
Yeah, it's hitting you right in the right spot too. So if I was to do 4, I'd have to kind of tighten the 4 and go from there.
No, I think it looks awesome.
Now you see on the length, you see, Todd, you see how there's fabric here. I could turn that saddle sideways so you could see your leg from the side. That's the big decision. Let's do that just to be thorough. Sorry about that. Any thoughts on length from your personal perspective?
I don't mind it a little longer, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
It,
Just careful there. There we go. you know, again, we want the short torso, long leg look, but at the same time, from talking to judges, which I know the jumpers are not judged, we want butt coverage too, so that it's not really way up in the air. Because you do, you know, you're posting, you're jumping, it's going to ride up. The jacket's going to ride shorter than it stands and sits. So, okay, let's see here. Let's get this to fall the right way there. There we go. It looks good. There's not a lot of white here. Let me show you something we could do. Take a look at it. A look at it in the mirror. Okay, there's taking about an inch off of it. You still got the coverage that you need, but we just made this distance longer.
Yeah.
And
I think that's good.
I think it is. I think it'll look good to have a little more leg showing in there. We can give that up. And of course, the
Smidge here.
yep. Now it normally does hit in the back. People always wonder, hey, it looks too long. It's hitting the cantle. It's supposed to, because when you post, that's going to drop back down to cover the butt area and give the right look. But he does have more than my standard. I can see it in the back here. I have a way I look at it, and that looks great. I think what we did there, you can see how the leg is. We shorten that cuff a little bit. We stay with the 3 buttons. What do you think about, do you want contrasting buttons that look like that screams jumper?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to be too outside the box with it. A little more traditional, I think, is good. But certainly there's all those options that you have, and a lot of the younger people really enjoy those options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. One thing that I should mention is that if we don't do the buttons and we leave them black, which this thing looks amazingly classic and beautiful, is that we can always change the buttons later. So we're not married to that for forever.
That's one of the things there, your ability to customize stuff.
Yes.
That's great.
We gotta have a way to change the looks up. So we could change that at some point, put a pewter button on there, brass or something, if we didn't like this. But normally we would just do another jacket. Todd's not going to be a one jacket guy. He needs different ones to go through. One other thing is, over the years I've known Todd for a long time, and about our jackets, is the fabrication. He runs a little hot, would you say?
Yeah. Work hard all day long.
It's been a cool season down here, but it can be brutal at different times. I remember up in Lake Placid some of those days. But I also can insert mesh into this too. Our fabric is super great for the heat, but I started doing it on a few other guys with Devin Ryan tried it, Jimmy Toronto, Jeff Google. They tried it and they're loving it, and you can't see it. It's not like we turned it into a mesh thing that looks, that won't work. First of all, if it rains, it won't look classic. I'm going to hide it in here. I think maybe the next jacket I try that on there, and we can give it a shot.
Great.
So it'll be inserts in here. You really won't see it, and then it'll just be a way to be a little bit cooler than normal. The other thing here's a big thing that's very interesting. I forgot about this. We're known for our cuffs and our number holes that we do for the hunters. So Todd is. Do you still wear the number?
I still show hunters, and I still wear my number on the back. It's a stupid station I have about wearing my. They still call it a back number, so I wear it on my back, not a saddle pad number.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea. You still doing some hunters?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, a jacket like this would just go from both worlds. Perfect. It would be amazing. So, because of the classic look, we do have the number holes in here. I always hear from a lot of riders that they have to change quickly. They don't have time, but if you thread it through once, it allows you to open your jacket to be cool. But it also you get rid of that string on the front, so it will look really more clean. And you're one of the few jumpers wearing it. But if you tie that on the inside on the Saturday night, it will look just a little sharper.
Yeah, I think this is awesome.
This looks good. Let's jump off and take one final look. Make sure we covered all the grounds. Let's look at that.
That's great.
That looks great. Now color comes into play, and then color accents come into play. We have a computer screen over here, is like a design studio, so we can plug in a base color, plug in the accents, and then create a look and design it right here with all this on there. So Todd has a color with his barn of the red.
I like the brown and the red, yeah.
So he's got brown and red. We could put brown and red off of a black base. We could start from a brown base, but we can edge that all in. We can do it with little buttonhole pieces, wrist stitching, little details of just sneaking the color in there would be nice. And then a lot of our custom jackets, because I think we're going to do the custom fitting and the custom design on this. They'll all be signed inside, serial numbered. Also, we have a new thing where we're putting the monogram of his own name inside too, which is I think I have one. Here's one here. So this was nice to have
I
that.
hadn't seen that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so all
Really nice.
all the U.S. teams we do every rider that way. I think that covers it. We'll put the name in. We know the changes that we're going to make to the length and to the sleeve, and then we'll talk on the colors details a little bit later. But I think that would set you up with a pretty good fit and give you the stretch, the washability, and the temperature, so you're not, and the water repellency. The water rolls right off of these. I'll show you that real quick. It's kind of, everyone loves to see that. Okay, just bend your arm a little bit. There we go. Watch this. So it's kind of like mercury running right off there. It's completely dry, but we didn't trade temperature. These are some of the coolest jackets on the market. With him, I may even put the mesh insert, take it to the next level, but it's not even that necessary. Perfect cuffs, number holes. He wears that. Okay, we're known for the special features. The cuffs and number holes, I almost can't sell a jacket without it. That's more to the hunter crowd. Again, Todd wears the number, which is, makes him unique and special. We have them here. It'd be kind of cool to see how that works. Let's try it out. There's very tiny holes that we've made on the side of the jacket, and with that, it, there we go. With that, if you don't wear the number, you don't see the shirt through the opening. It's strategically done. It's not just people think that they'll just go do it themselves, but this is done like this. So now, there it is. It's right in the center of the back. Let's tie it. That looks good. It's right in the center. It also keeps it from doing the sag and going up and down.
It does make it a lot cleaner look to it.
Yeah, with the string on the inside, it's unflat. If you tied that shoestring across this gorgeous fit, it will make your stomach look different. Or the girls, it makes looks like a string bra. So really, it's smooth. Look at that. So,
Nice.
how's that?
Yeah, perfect. Awesome.
Looks great. And if he wanted to stop and take a break and he opened up his jacket, he can open it because the nut string's not on the outside, so he can just let the jacket hang open and sit down in the lounge waiting for his next ride, waiting to go to the jump off. So that's it's all ready to roll. Save that time. All right, I like that look. What do you
It's
think?
great. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Gives a little room.
I'm excited. It's
All
very
right.
cool.
Me too. I'm very excited because I love to do this, and then see a rider of this caliber out there on a Saturday night is a big deal for me. And we want, I think the jackets make a difference in mobility, all that little differences that when I see them come down to thousandths of a second, sometimes I think the jacket's involved there. There's a little bit of horse and rider, okay, but I think it all adds up. We need every little piece we can get of that. So I think we're all set, Todd. What do you think?
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.